Chapter 1. Cautiously glancing back over her shoulder for the umpteenth time, Chloe Henderson quickened her pace. She was being followed, and she knew it. Noticing the blue Ford truck parked by the curb just up ahead with the windows down, Chloe quickly crossed the street and headed toward the truck. Hands casually shoved into her blue jeans, she glanced around, looking for its owner, but saw no one. Peeking back over her shoulder once more, she slid her petite frame through the window and into the driver's seat, reaching for the ignition. No keys. Not that she had really expected there to be keys, but she was hoping. Desperate. She leaned forward, long strands of red curls falling across her bare shoulders. The cool evening air blew through the open windows, and she shivered slightly, wishing she had thought to wear more than just a tank top. Oh, how hard can it really be to hotwire a truck? She mumbled to herself. Pretty hard when you don't know what you're doing, someone said as the door clicked and swung open. With a gasp, Chloe snapped upright, looking into the unamused face of a very tall, athletically fit man dressed in a navy blue V-neck t-shirt, blue jeans, a cowboy hat, and brown leather cowboy boots. She scrambled across the console, but before she could even reach for the passenger side door handle, she was halted by a Belgian Malinois leaping through the open window, landing directly between her and the door. Good job, Tucker, the man praised as Chloe inched away from the dog. Matt Holmes had seen the whole thing from across the street. At first, he figured the young woman must have mistaken his truck for hers. But as he observed, it became clear she was trying to steal his truck. He could have called the police, of course, but as a formal Navy SEAL, it's not like he was intimidated by the little redhead in his truck. He was more curious than anything and decided to find out what she was doing before calling the police. Maybe there was a logical explanation, doubtful, but he decided to give her a fair chance. Matt twirled his Stetson in his hands, exposing his short hair, and leaned into the car so he was just a few inches from her face. His brown eyes met her hazel ones. Mind telling me why you're trying to hotwire my truck? He asked, with an apparent southern drawl. I, she stammered. His eyes narrowed down at her, and he opened his mouth to continue when suddenly the unmistakable ping of bullets snapped around him. Without a word, Matt slid into the driver's seat and sped away as he rolled up the windows. Hit the deck, Matt commanded. The Belgian Malinois immediately jumped into the back seat and stretched out on the floor. Chloe clasped the door for dear life, almost sliding off the seat as Matt swerved the truck around a tight corner. Put your seatbelt on. I'd rather you just let me out, she countered, but then secured the seatbelt across her. And I'd rather we put some distance between the person shooting at us. Matt merged onto the interstate and Chloe twisted in her seat to see if they were still being followed. Mind telling me what you've gotten yourself into? He asked, looking in the rearview mirror again to make sure he had lost their pursuer. Your guess is as good as mine, she shrugged. Right, he scoffed. My day was going just fine until a little redhead tried to hotwire my truck, and then suddenly, for no reason, someone started taking pot shots at me. I'm not buying it. Could you just pull over and let me out? She asked. I'll be out of your way, and we can pretend this never happened. Without peripheral vision in his right eye, thanks to his last mission as a Navy SEAL, he turned his head to the side in order to read her expression. By the look on her face, she was serious about him leaving her on the side of the road. Yeah, that's not happening, he scoffed. Pull over, she demanded. Matt didn't bother arguing. He just kept driving. So, you're going to kidnap me? She continued, voice squeaking. Abruptly, he swerved to the side of the road. Chloe gasped. She quickly unbuckled her seatbelt, but before it snapped back, Matt reached over and grabbed it, keeping her strapped to the seat. Her hazel eyes widened. "You have two options," he said sternly. "One, you get out of this truck, I call the police, and they get to sort out why you were stealing my truck and why those men were shooting at us." "I wasn't going to steal it," she mumbled. "I was just borrowing it." "That's the same thing, and you know it," he said, shaking his head. "Two, we keep driving, and you tell me what trouble you've gotten yourself into." She swallowed hard, looking down at the floorboard to avoid his harsh stare. "Or three, maybe you just let me go and forget?" "Not happening," he interrupted, still holding the seatbelt. "I don't know about you," Matt continued, "but I'd rather not be sitting on the side of the road here if those guys with guns catch up. You?" She hesitated and then shook her head, still not making eye contact with him. "So, what's it going to be, sweetheart? Am I calling the police, or am I going to keep driving?" She looked up at him now, capturing her bottom lip between her teeth. Matt was close enough that he could see the little freckles on her nose and on her rosy cheeks. "Keep driving," she said, just above a whisper. Without another word, he snapped the seatbelt back into the buckle and wove back onto the highway.